I'm gonna storm out of here and fly away.
Fine, well, I'm going to find my own way out.
I'm gonna find my own way out. Welcome to Subgenre. This is an unscripted and unhinged audio performance where I invite comedians onto this podcast to be challenged to create and perform a full-length film of a super specific subgenre that parodies the popular conventions of blockbuster storytelling. And today, I have a movie buff with me. His name is Mitchell Horne. Give it up for Mitchell Horne, everybody.
Oh, sorry.
I'm waiting for the applause.
Invite the audience. I'm sorry.
Thank you, Eric. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for agreeing to do this like really strange little fun project.
Yeah,
It's for fun. It's a good time. So we're gonna dive into the world of movies and adventure and man, do you like movies?
yeah, I love movies. I have my own particular taste, so I don't see every movie, but like there are some that speak to me.
Like if I was to come to a movie night you hosted and I came one night, I'm like, oh, that's an interesting choice. And I come the second night, I'm like, oh, that's what Mitchell would choose. Yeah. And I come the third night, I'm like, I could probably guess what I'm going to be.
Maybe, yeah. Like
I like that.
Yeah.
It's like just Wes Anderson movies.
No. No, I just mean that like there are movies that speak to me and a lot that don't.
You know what? There are people that speak to me and a lot that don't. And speaking of people who speak to me, behind the camera on the tech today is our producer, Taylor McMillan.
Hi, everyone.
Thank you for this, Taylor. I really appreciate all of your help in plugging cords in and making sure things work.
You're very welcome.
That always takes a long time, and I don't like doing it alone because I don't like being alone for a long time. But yeah, Taylor's awesome. We're so happy to have him here. He's going to help us out along the way as we make this subgenre adventure. So this is how we start. I'm going to ask you to tell me what one of your favorite movies is, and we're going to try to figure out what the genre is and then what the subgenre is and define some conventions.
Yeah. One of my favorite movies that I saw in the last couple of years was The Lighthouse.
Ooh, love it.
So you have seen it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I don't know, like the optics are kind of a snobby choice, maybe, but I think it's like it's a real piece of art, and like
anything filmed in Yarmouth, Nova Scotia is a real piece of art.
Exactly, that's part of
that.
It
Could be a subgenre in it all of its own.
Filmed in Yarmouth.
Filmed in Nova Scotia.
Yeah, so
this movie is like a dark psychological horror.
Mm-hmm. And it's a period piece.
Yeah, that's true. It's a period
with
piece.
2 actors.
Wow.
Through the whole thing.
Yeah, small cast.
Starring Robert Pattinson and Willem Dafoe.
Now, I recently saw that if it's going to be a good movie, it has to have Willem Dafoe in it. Like, to be critically acclaimed movie, you have to have Willem Dafoe in it. So we already have that going for it.
Right.
Maybe Willem Dafoe will show up.
Maybe he'll show up. Who knows?
So that's like the big genre, then like a psychological horror. But when you get more specific, it's like a horror time period piece.
Yep.
A period
and
psychological period piece.
I think also the like they're basically isolated on this island. One of them,
isolation.
It's a lighthouse keeper and his assistant.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so it's isolation horror. That's part of it, is like nobody else is around and they're there for weeks and there's a storm, so they get stuck there and they lose track of time and things like that.
So now we need to define some conventions of this isolation horror period piece. What some of these conventions? I guess you're stuck in a creepy location and you can't leave.
Yeah.
Convention number 2. Set in a specific historical time period.
Oof, that's going to be difficult. Yeah, I would say also like particular to this movie, but that we want for our convention is like, there's a kind of uncertainty about what's happened. Like, it's not clear cut the events, what's real and what's not, and what the order of things necessarily.
That'll be great to do because that's what improv is always in. Improv is always that. I'm not sure what's real or what's actually happening here. So then, so what do we have there, Taylor, for conventions?
An isolated, creepy location.
Yep.
A specific historical time period.
And a reality that is always
flexible. In question.
There's
maybe.
Yeah, that's like a horror mystery.
Yeah.
Piece of this. Okay, I think that's enough to go off of.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, so...
All right. I really liked having Taylor kick us off. Taylor, would you be so kind and generous to be able to paint the first setting?
Mm-hmm. And remember, it's the last setting as well.
Yeah. This is a lot of pressure.
I know.
You guys up on a whole path here.
That's true.
I like doing historical time period, but not necessarily the same as the lighthouse.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So let's go to a countryside in Europe with a tall, looming castle. And we have our main character standing at the castle gates, waiting to be let in after receiving a letter from the king of this castle asking for his services. Let's see where that takes us.
Bang, 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 bang. Hello, is anybody in there? Could you please let me in? It's just a torrential downpour out here. Oh my gosh. I didn't bring a coat. I wasn't prepared for this. I came in such a hurry. Hello? Bang, 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 bang. Hello, can someone let me into this big castle, please?
Maybe we can climb the vines and get in.
I guess so. This door's not going to open for us, man.
What are we going to do? Stand out here in the rain?
Okay, before we, try to break into this castle, why? Why would we even, do that? What's the point?
Our entire village has gone to the famine. What else do we have? This is an invite from the king. You don't say no to that.
I guess. I mean, the king hasn't spoken to anyone in the village for 2 years now.
Yeah.
I was pretty surprised when we got the letter. Just two average Joe farmers from the village.
Yeah. Serfs.
Just two serfs. I mean, I do my best to grow potatoes, and you do your best to grow
cabbage.
And we try to feed the village, but with this famine, it's been really tough. I mean, my wife died.
Yeah.
And my 7 kids also. And my dog. And my horse.
Yeah.
And my neighbors. All the neighbors.
Anyway, should we go in?
It's been rough, man. I just want to talk.
I'm getting all wet.
All right. Well, I think you should go first.
Okay. Since it was my
Mycenae.
Mycenae. Yeah, that's my name. Jumps down over the wall. The wall is 10 feet tall. Somebody knock.
Never lose your sense of humor, Mycenae.
Come on in, Jebediah.
Jebediah and Mycenae make their way through the castle courtyard, and strangely, there's no one milling about, and they make their way all the way up through the courtyard, up the stairs, straight into the throne room, and still cannot see a single soul anywhere in the castle. Echo!
I guess.
Anyone home? Home?
They must have laid everybody off because of the famine. Maybe they died too.
It is weird. Like, I don't know. I always thought like you said, the king hasn't come out of the castle in who knows how long.
I don't even remember what he looks like.
Never seen him.
Look at that painting on the wall. I guess that's what he looks like. I mean, that was a long time ago.
Yeah.
Look at the eyes on that painting.
I don't know.
Creepy.
They look just like eyes to me.
No, look. It's like the eyes are following me. I swear. Look. You see that? You see that? Is she's in my head? I'm a little weird at that. Maybe we should just go. You want to just go back?
No, man. We came all the way here.
What are we expecting to find? Like a whole storage room of potatoes and cabbage that have been just sitting here?
If we're going to find it anywhere, it would be here. Look.
True.
Somebody invited us out here, right? There must be some kind of reason.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Let's look around.
Okay. Wait.
Hey, there's a torch on the wall. We can light that and...
Nice. I have this flint and
rock.
All right, you carry those torches. I'm afraid of fire.
They kind of start to make their way around through the different rooms of the castle. The dining room has, a big... The table with all the chairs surrounding it, everything, it has empty, everything's set with empty plates and forks and knives untouched, but it just feels that like nobody has been in here for some time.
What was my name again?
Jebediah.
Jebediah sits at the head of the table. Hey, look at me, I'm the king.
Oh, my liege, what can I get you?
I'll have another turkey, please. I've already eaten two today, but...
Careful, that's blasphemy.
Yeah, you're right. If the king heard me, he'd probably chop off my head. All of a sudden, they hear a door slam. Oh, what? Jesus. Jebediah gets up out of the seat and like...
What's wrong with you?
I don't know what I was thinking. Hello, is someone there? I don't know, maybe the wind just blew the door off.
Yeah. Okay.
And just then, in the doorway to the dining hall, they see a caped figure walk by.
What?
Do you see that?
Yeah, that was the king, right?
I don't know who else wears a cape.
But he barely made a sound, and he went through that door.
Come on, let's go follow him. See if we can find him.
I don't know.
Well, I'm getting a little weirded out, so I'd like to ask some questions here. They both walk out into the hallway and they look down the hall, and there's no one there.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't look like anyone's been there in a long time.
What the?
Hello, your liege, sire? They walk down to the end of the hall and they turn to the right, and there's a door open, and they walk into the apothecary. There's bottles of potions and...
Wow, look at that.
You think any of this stuff would give us a little buzz? You know what I mean? Cut the edge a little?
I don't know. I mean, I don't feel
this
good.
This one says elixir of cheer.
Sounds like
Sounds
small wine to me.
Come on, here, have a glass. Cheers to our prosperity and to the prosperity of the king, if he's here.
Yeah, love you.
Love you. Where's this stuff made of? I don't know. I can't really read that.
I can't read.
No, but I'm starting to think that doesn't say elixir of cheer. That says elixir of fear. Maybe is that what that says?
I can't read.
No idea. But anyway, I'm feeling a little something at least.
Hey,
we should sing a song. When I drink, I sing.
Oh, what song should we sing?
I don't know, like a farm song. You know, like how farmers.
Yeah.
Songs. I sing one when I'm out in the field all the time.
Okay, let's get started with that.
Dum bum dum bum dum. bum. Bum, 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 bum. Ba, ba. I harvest my potatoes. I give them out to the people in the village. I harvest my potatoes. I give them out to the people in the village.
Every day I work the fields and that's all I feel. Toil and rubble in my life. It's made of strife.
It's made of strife. Trouble, trouble, I need a meal. I have a terrible feeling in my belly because I don't have any food and I drank some elixir.
I don't feel like singing
I'm
anymore.
not happy either.
We gotta find some food, man.
I need something to eat.
There's gotta be something around here. Look, let's go back to the main entrance and we could try the other side. And so they kind of make their way back the way they came through the dining hall and back to the main throne entrance area, but it doesn't look the same. There's no longer the big entryway. Suddenly it's a new hall that extends further down. What the? Did we go the wrong way?
I don't remember any of this, but I've also never been in the castle before, so I have very poor sense of direction.
Yes. I also have poor vision, and there's nothing to be done about that ever.
Well, we can't eat carrots, so it doesn't help our sight in the dark either. I smell something, though.
I think that...
I smell something? I smell stew.
Stew? I smell stew.
That's right, our local traditional dish of stew and soup mixed together. That's cabbage potato stew.
They start to smell the whiff and they kind of float.
Yeah.
Their noses
levitate off the ground and they're both like their noses guide them down the hallway as they float like ghosts.
Suddenly they're into the kitchen and they see there's a bubbling pot of stew
over the
big fire.
And it's like cheerful and warm and joyous.
Oh my goodness.
And they like,
this must be what we came here for.
Quick, get a bowl. I'm starving. They don't get a bowl. They just slurp right out.
They just start slurping. They slurp for like a while. Like they don't stop. And an hour goes by. 2 hours go by where and the
pot's not getting empty. It's still full. And they both look at each other like, oh my gosh.
And they kind of both fall over like on the floor, leaning up against the cupboard.
They've grown. They're not the same scrawny little men. They're like Mycenae and Jebediah are both like 3 sizes they used to be. And they're like, they go and they...
Jebediah, you look like the king.
You look like the king.
You're fat like the king.
You're fat like the king.
Ha!
Oh. They both waddle back out into the big like hallway and they both they both like flop onto the royal red carpet and just lay there. But Mycenae, I never knew your nose looked like that.
Look like what?
It looks like a pig nose.
What?
You don't look like you have a normal nose. You look like you have a pig nose.
Well, you look like you have the beard of an old crow.
Oh. Hold on. That's not hair on my arms. That's feathers. Look at your tail. You have a tail. You have a little...
Where?
You have a little pigtail.
Where?
A pig nose.
No.
And I have bird wings and
what?
Bird beak.
You did this.
I didn't do this.
You did this.
What do you mean?
You.
I can't look at you anymore. I can't look at you at all. I'm going to storm out of here and fly away.
Fine. Well, I'm going to find my own way out.
I'm going to find my own way out.
So they
both cluck and bluck and stomp off. They're no longer humans. They've started to turn into animals.
Yeah. And so Mycenae, he makes his way out into, he finds a courtyard. It's completely surrounded by walls, and there's like metal atop the walls, so you can't scale your way out. And anyways, his arms are getting too stubby, but he's happy to be outside and in the rain, and oh wow, what a wonderful mud pit. He gets down in the mud and he starts rolling around. Oh, gotta cleanse myself of Jebediah.
Cut to Mycenae, and he's like, he's in like he's in a bedroom, the king's royal bedroom, and he goes out onto the balcony and he sees a little bird feeder and a bird bath, and he's like, oh, look at that beautiful seed, and he starts pecking at the seeds in the bird feeder, and he's like, oh, I'm so dirty, I need to wash off all that Mycenae. And he gets in the little bird bath and he splashes around, starts splashing the water all over him. Oh. And then all of a sudden they hear like a big horn comes from the top tower of it. Oh. And they both, from different sides of the castle, look up to the top of the tower and go, oh, that noise.
I never noticed until now. That tower's so tall.
There's a light up on that tower. This is a split screen. This is like,
yeah.
They're not having a conversation there on the other side of the kingdom. Oh, I'm going to go up there and I'm going to tell that person to quit that racket. No,
that must be Jebediah up there.
That must be Mycenae up there. Oh, yada. So the crow starts marching down. He doesn't know how to fly, so he goes back down into the castle, and he finds a little hallway and climbs up a tower.
Yeah, and Mycenae like is kind of walking on all fours, and he finds like a spiral staircase, and he's like, oh man, it's too much. This is gonna be, and he starts to make his way up, and it's the perfect analog of the source material where he's lugging that heavy canister all the way up the spiral stairs, if you remember.
The canister?
Anyway. And he's dragging himself. He's dragging himself up. And so they're going up their own respective ways up to the top of the tower.
And they both, they reach the top and they meet each other and they see each other there and they give each other a dirty look.
And they, at this point, look even more like they've transformed even more, and so
fully animals. Yeah,
barely recognizable. But of course, when you look someone in the eyes, you know, you can see their soul.
But the flames that are burning at the top and the horn that is sitting there, they're both glowing in a fantastical way. Like the horn is made of brilliant gold and it's shining like it's anything's ever shined before. And the fire is not actually the color of fire. It's like blue, but it's green and it's purple and it's this golden. It's like magical flames that are burning. And both of the creatures look to these things and think that they've never seen such things and never heard of such things.
And for a moment, their hatred of one another is dissipated because they are trying to understand what they're looking.
Is this the king?
I don't know. His name was King Horne. George Horne. King George Horne. But that big golden horn couldn't be the king, could it?
I'm so cold, Jebediah. I'm going to go towards the fire.
Don't get too close to that fire.
Just a little bit closer to warm up.
As he gets closer to the fire, his like pig features start to melt away and starts turning back into like a human.
Yeah, but he's still like, you can see that the pig nature was part of him.
Yeah, and he gets kind of shocked by it and steps back away from the fire, but turns back into a pig as he Gets farther away from the fire.
What is sorcery?
Quick! Maybe it's magic.
Clearly it's magic.
I'm not so smart. If you think that Horne is the king, and it's turned into...
I think the fire is the king.
You think...
And I'm gonna greet him. And he starts to take a step forward again towards the fire. And again, his pig features start to melt away, and revealing his true nature. He's transfixed. He's completely transfixed by the glorious flames.
The bird has noticed that the pig, human Jebediah, has gone into a trance and is not moving, is stood completely still. So he goes with his guts and he takes the horn and brings it closer to the fire. And as he brings the horn closer to the fire, the horn starts to morph and make noises, and it starts to turn sort of human-like. And a voice starts to emerge that's no longer a horn, it's a man, and he's so upset and mad, and it's King George Horne. Oh, thank you.
Thank you for saving me. I was trapped as a horn for the last 15 years, and everyone I sent to come rescue me was changed into an animal.
What about the flames? Oh, what about my Sania? He's stuck. He can't look away.
Well, that's just the temptation of the castle and my riches. The magical flame has burned here for thousands of years, and every king before me has managed to resist its temptation. But they were far stronger than me, but not stronger than you, Jebediah. You were able to conquer the flame's power, and I can't say the same for your friend.
He starts to speak in tongues. I'm compelled to sin.
But why were you turned into a horn, King George Horne?
Oh, because I, too, fell victim to the flame's curse. I just wanted to feel its warmth as close as I could. And alas, I fell for its temptations.
So, what should I do? If I go into the flames, will I become human again and no longer a crow?
Yes, but you must leave your friend behind.
I think I'm okay with that.
Very well.
Jebediah, king,
disappears in a puff of smoke. Goodbye.
If he's not king, who's going to be king? Maybe it should be me.
And atop the flames, he spots like a glowing, floating crown.
He reaches out and grabs the crown and steps into the fire at the same time. And as he steps in, he gets covered in flames, but the flames then dissipate.
And a light shines so bright out across the landscape, and the dark and stormy night instantly turns to quiet day, and the rain is gone.
And the soil is no longer unfertile. Plants shoot up out of the ground, and all the farms are full of beautiful green colors and produce, and there's Jebediah standing there looking out onto this beautiful kingdom, and he touches on top of his head, and he has a crown, and he looks around, and Mycenia's not there anymore.
He has turned to ash. And Jebediah, understanding that he is now king of this land, he tries to move from within the flames, but he can't. He is contained within them. And he realizes that this is where he will stay, and that he has been tricked.
No, wait. I can't move. I'm trapped. I'm stuck as a flame. Now maybe he's king, but it comes with a price, and he's no longer a human or a real thing. He's just a spirit that is a flame and is now destined to be the flame of the tower for the rest of his eternity as the kingdom goes on below him without the existence of Mycenae and Jebediah for the rest of eternity. The end. Oh, I think it ended the kind of same way as Lighthouse did.
Yep.
Strange and weird and no real happy ending. But that's good. I'm glad it wasn't a happy ending. It can't be.
It couldn't have been. No.
Horror movies, I don't watch a
felt.
lot, but they don't end happy, do they?
No.
Sometimes they get away. Like,
one person gets away and all their friends are dead.
Yeah, usually everyone's dead and one person gets away. What do you think, Taylor? What was your impression?
That was a ride.
That was a ride.
I think you hit your conventions pretty well, at least.
Yeah, we did. An isolated, creepy location of a castle.
Yeah, that was good. That was really good.
We had the historical time period of medieval.
Yeah.
And a flexible reality, sure. Sure. Things change.
Because what the hell was going on?
I had no idea. Wow. It felt like a short film from like Studio Ghibli or something. But with a weird horror ending to it.
Right.
I'm scared. I'm probably not going to sleep tonight.
If you see a flame, you run.
What I'm going to do is just listen back to these beautiful recordings we've made today, Mitchell. Thank you for being here to do this silly nonsense.
Oh, thank you for having me. This has been so fun.
You've been great. And thank you, Taylor, for doing all the tech this evening and being an amazing producer.
Yes, sir.
If you enjoy this, that makes me happy. And if you're happy with that, you should send it around to other people. This is Subgenre. We're going to maybe do a few more and just have fun with it. It's just a fun little project we do. You can watch it on video. You can listen to it on audio. Thank you so much for listening. My name is Eric, which I didn't say at the beginning, but that's totally fine. I can say that another time. It's not about me. It's about Mitchell. It's about Taylor. And about you, listener. Thank you so much. Have a good evening. And Mitchell, say goodbye.